And now, I'd like to bring on our special guest. He's Martin Quezada. He is a representative in the Arizona House of Representatives. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lou. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. As you know, yes. As you know, this is the world's first Jewish Chicano radio show. So my first question to you is, do you consider yourself a Chicano?
Yeah, Lou, absolutely. I would definitely say that I've called myself a Chicano for many, many years now.
Right. But there's some people who don't accept that term, and they reject it, or they don't understand it.
Well, Lou, I think there's a lot of people who don't completely understand why individuals like myself call themselves Chicanos. But yeah, there are some that still don't completely understand it and that do reject it. But I think I know I'm a proud Chicano. I know many of the people I associate with consider ourselves proud Chicanos, and we're proud of our history and our culture and what we're doing with it.
I'd like to ask you this. This is just your opinion, just your view. How would you answer this question? Do you think that in Arizona there's anybody who speaks on behalf of the Mexican-American community? Is there anybody that you think does?
Well, Lou, that's a great question. And I think in our community we have to first recognize that we have such a broad and such a diverse community that Latinos, Chicanos aren't going to have one individual who they turn to be our spokesperson. We're going to have many. And I think that we are fortunate that we do have many who, from different perspectives, from different backgrounds, do speak for us on different levels. And I can go through and mention a few of those for you. At the legislature, one of the ones that comes to mind is our Senator Steve Gallardo, who a lot of people turn to on Latino issues. We've got other members in the legislature, like Representative Sally Ann Gonzalez from Tucson, who's a strong advocate for Latino issues. And then other elected officials at different levels. At the county, I know Supervisor Mary Rose Wilcox has taken a strong role on Latino issues. And then we've got community activists, people out in the community talking to neighborhoods, talking to voters, registering voters. People like Petra Falcon with Promise Arizona, Raquel Taran even has taken a strong role. In education, there are people who have strong policy backgrounds and speak out about the way that our education policy affects Latino children. There are strong people like Mr. David Garcia, who's one of the strongest policy education people out there, and who knows a lot about the way our state laws affect Chicanos.
You can call and ask Martin Quezada, Arizona Representative Martin Quezada, questions 602-277-5369 or at 1-866-536-1100. Again, locally, that's 602-277-5369. So thank you for that answer. You know, you're a newly elected representative in the House. You're an attorney. What made you decide to get into politics?
You know, Lou, that's an interesting question as well. I think what happened with me is I saw a window of opportunity, and I saw an opportunity to get involved at a time when I thought my community needed help, and I thought that I had an opportunity to enter into this arena and make a difference. And I know that those windows are few and far between. I saw it and I jumped at it. What I saw going through my education and through my professional experience was that our community needs a lot of help, and there's not a lot of people who are providing that help, and that's why I wanted to get involved.
And you're interested in education. I remember speaking with you last year. You were very interested in education, and you believe in doing the right thing, and you're almost, I don't want to say untouchable, but do you still feel as though doing the right thing is the most important thing?
Absolutely. If you're not doing the right thing, I've seen many politicians who get into office and become persuaded by outside interests, by outside lobbyists, by money, and when that happens, you need to get out. And so,
speaking of which, I understand that ALEC has been showing up lately in the legislature, and that you're keenly aware of this. What would you like to tell us about that?
Well, not just lately, Lou. ALEC has been around at the legislature for many, many years, and their influence at the legislature is heavy. It is a strong influence, and the community really needs to be more aware about what organizations like ALEC are doing in legislatures, not only here in Arizona, but throughout the country. So it's a very dangerous influence. And it's caused a lot of harm. A lot of the bills that have been passed in Arizona are ALEC bills.
Right.
What type, Martin, what type of legislation has ALEC helped foster through the system here in Arizona and around the country?
At least lately.
At least lately, yes.
Well, ALEC's influence at the legislature covers a broad range of topics. So every subject area at these ALEC conferences, they have lobbyists who come in and they draft legislation for attendees at these conferences. At these conferences where those legislators are wined and dined, they are treated like royalty. And then at the end of the day, they're provided a sample legislation where they say, here, we would love it if you ran this bill in your state legislature. And that's exactly what happens. Those many examples of legislation are exact copies of what ALEC has on their website as model legislation.
Have you ever been invited to one of these conferences?
I have not been invited to one of these conferences, but even if I had, I could attend, because these are open to all legislators. But it's those that choose to go.
Right.
And I have chosen not to go. I will never attend one of these conferences.
I'd like to ask you something. You're Chicano, you're Mexican American. There's a segment of the Mexican American population all across the United States that doesn't quite trust President Obama because of the record number of deportations. Okay, so I'd like you to address that. 1 million deportations so far. So what would you say to those people who are angry at Obama for deporting all these people?
Well, again, that's the politics of being in office. There are efforts that need to be made on both sides of this immigration issue. Those numbers of deportations are big, and people are upset about that for a good reason. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. There's some valid concern there for the number of deportations that have been happening lately. The way to address that is to ask, why are those deportations happening? Are those the right people that are being deported? And are these policies serving our country well? And that's what we need to figure out.
Are these policies serving our country well?
Well, right now, our immigration policy is broken. So the answer is no. Our immigration policy is simply not working, and for us to continue to feed it, for us to continue to live under this policy, is hurting our nation as a whole. I do believe that.
Okay, well, you're in the thick of things, and you heard the first part of the program all about the Boston bombings and the after effect of people who are now considering the new Gang of Eights immigration plan in Congress. They want to put a hold on it. They want to stall it because they think that it's either not good enough, or they're just convinced that no immigration plan to allow anybody to come in is going to serve America. It's a matter of fear and scare and paranoia. What's your quick answer on that?
Quick answer to that's a delayed tactic, and it's a tactic for us to not accomplish comprehensive immigration reform.
Right. But it seems as though the right wing is exploiting these bombings in order to...
That's exactly what they're doing. This is an exploitation of a travesty that happened in our nation, and they're connecting these two issues where there should be no connection at all.
How can we exploit them back?
How can we exploit them back? We can be smarter than that, and we can say that there is no connection, and we need to get comprehensive immigration reform accomplished now.
And you can be smart too to call 602-277-5369 and ask Martin Quezada a question right after this.